Hello and welcome to another Rise of Kingdoms video. This is Dragothian here, and today I wanted to talk to you about the new Osiris League stuff that we got a few days ago. Again, been really busy during the week, so I'm trying to catch up on the weekend. So here is your Osiris League breakdown and just kind of first impressions and thoughts, and then still some things that we're missing from the description that they've given us inside of the event page. So first off, I wanted to kind of compare this to things that you probably already know or are very familiar with from a format standpoint. So there's two stages. You've got a qualifier stage and a playoff stage. The playoff stage is very, very hard to get into based off of the description into the Osiris League rules. However, if you've got a solid team, a solid strategy, and tons of power, those 32 teams should probably be every single bit of T5 across the board. So if you are in or wanting to make the playoff rounds, you need to make sure that you have as many T5 players that are solid with many, many troops to make it into this playoff stage. But let's start with the qualifiers. So 512 alliances, the top 512 registered alliances, not just 512, the top 512 period. So if you're in the 512 alliances that are at the top of the leaderboard from a power standpoint and you don't register for Osiris League, then you've lost your spot and you are going to be just doing Ark of Osiris, not Ark of Osiris League. Now, top 512 players or alliances will be put into a qualifier division. There's going to be 32 total divisions, and they're going to basically break them down 4 alliances per subdivision. So each bracket, if you want to kind of think about it this way, there's a bracket of 4 alliances in 4 brackets. So you've got 2 on the left, 2 on the right, a total of 8 alliances on each side, and you'll probably do some kind of a inter-subdivision qualifier set of 3 rounds. So if you're in a group of 4 in your subdivision and you've got 3 other alliances in your subdivision, it would make sense, and again, they don't really spell this out in the rules, so we're just speculating here, but it would make sense that you've got to win your division, right, your subdivision, to get to the 2 elimination rounds inside of your division. So once you win your subdivision, there'll be 1 alliance from each subdivision inside of your total division. Lots of division. At that point, you'll have like the East and West, and then the 2 alliances from the East, the 2 alliances from the West will battle each other. That will be an elimination round. That's the first one. And then finally, the division round champion will be crowned once the East and West winners play each other. Hopefully that makes sense. It's very similar to those of you in the U.S., very similar to football or even March Madness with college basketball, very similar. And then for those of you in Europe and other areas outside of the U.S., very similar to your version of football, or as we call it in the States, soccer. Obviously, that's not the right way to say it for those of you that are paying attention overseas, but it is what it is. So once that happens, once you've won your division, you'll get into the playoffs. This is where it starts getting really hairy. It's basically the same premise that just happened in the qualifier round, but now you're up against the best of the best of the best of the best of the best. So these 32 division champions are obviously going to be the top tier, highest power generally, best strategy, most troop type alliances. Okay, so think, JWM, UCS, IKM, K50, White Tigers, Misfits, Mylines, AOC, that kind of thing. Those types of alliances are going to be hopefully what, at least for us anyway, hopefully what make it to the playoff round. Now, you might get a little screwed in the qualifier round. It just depends on how you're seeded and how you're positioned inside of your subdivisions within your division. So, for instance, who knows? Maybe in the subdivision of the alliance or the division that White Tigers is in, maybe JWM is also in that same subdivision. Only 1 alliance out of that entire division can make it to the playoffs. So maybe there's going to be some kind of a bad beat or something to that effect where you're going to have maybe 1 or 2 alliances inside the division playoff round that aren't exactly top flight tier when it comes to power and troops and all that good stuff. So we're really going to see how this plays out. I think it's going to be very interesting, and it's making me want to sit tight and enjoy the Osiris League for what it's worth. It looks like it's going to be about a 1 to 2 month event. If there's going to be 5 stages one a week, that's about 10 weeks. So a little over 2 months, I think, is what we're looking at from a length of time standpoint. Let's move over to the format. So again, this is just instructions on how to register your alliance into the Osiris League. And again, competition times are going to be all on Sunday, so that's really good. You don't have to worry about picking between, depending on where you're at in the world, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, wherever. It's all on Sunday, 3 UTC to 19 UTC. There's 5 slots to choose from. You pick your top 3, and that's how you are organized into your subdivisions and ultimately your divisions, okay? Participant-wise, you can have a maximum of 60 participants, 30 combatants, and 30 backups or subs. That's nice because you will not be able to change this during the qualifier round, which lasts 5 weeks. So with that in mind, you want to make sure that you're going to have people that are active, that have exactly what you're looking for from a troop, a commander perspective, and can follow directions if you're a very organized alliance, which most of you should be at this point. This is what you're looking at. So you cannot change your roster until the qualifier round ends. Now, of everybody who's going to apply to be in the Osiris League, if there is more than 512 registered alliances, then if you're outside of that top 512, you won't be able to join. I mean, it's just as simple as that. So I'm curious to see how many alliances register for this, because to be honest with you, there's 430, I think, kingdoms, and of course there's 20 to 50 alliances in each one, but top tier alliances, there's not as many. I mean, usually anywhere between 2 billion plus is considered enough to cause some damage. So how many of those are out there? Maybe a couple hundred, I think. I don't know if there's 512 of those. So just because you're not, again, just because you don't have 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 billion alliance power doesn't mean you can't participate in Osiris League, get some of the rewards, and who knows? Who knows? You might get lucky and make it to the playoffs, and then once you hit the playoffs, anything's possible. So I hope, doesn't matter what you're at from an alliance standpoint, enjoy the process, enjoy the fun. Once you are done with Osiris League, if you happen to get eliminated, you can then start playing in the regular Ark of Osiris. So it's not like you're going to be missing out on anything. There's rewards throughout the process, which I'll go over next. So you're not missing out on anything. That was one thing I was worried about before this came up, the rules came out and everything, was that we were going to be sacrificing rewards from Ark of Osiris just to participate in Osiris League. And that's not the case. There's weekly rewards, there's winning rewards, there's participant rewards, and then there's event rewards too. So very similar to Lost Kingdom, maybe a little bit toned down, but ultimately it looks like it should be fun and rewarding. So very cool. Again, this is kind of what I talked about earlier. There's 32 divisions between 512 alliances, 16 alliances in each division. And then again, it's a 4-4-4-4 bracket system, okay? And it looks like in the group stages, you'll basically be, you'll fight the alliances that are in your subdivision, and then ultimately you'll fight the 4 winners of the subdivision inside the regular division, and then that division winner will move on to the playoffs. That should be how it works. I'd imagine it shouldn't be any different than that. In that knockout stage, because it's three round robin where you're doing your subdivision, and then there's a 2-round knockout stage, and it's basically elimination. So you've got 4 alliances in the division left from the subdivisions. You're going to play once, and then the loser will be out. The winner will move on to basically the championship round of the division. Whoever wins that goes to the playoffs, okay? Looks like there'll also be a 7-day rest period following the qualifying round. Basically what you need to know about here, obviously it's 7 days. Same principle when it comes to choosing the the division round elimination matches, when it comes to the time periods in the day, you can adjust your roster at this point. So after the qualifiers are done and you've either won, to get to this point, you've won your subdivision, okay? So you can then adjust your roster a little bit. It's not like you can completely revamp everything. You can adjust up to 10 participants. So if you had 30 subs and 30 active members and you were interchanging out and you noticed that one or two or 5 or 10 of your players never showed up, or they were doing poorly performance-wise or whatever, you can adjust your roster to maximize your way of, let me try to fix this really quick, maximize your roster so that once you hit the playoff rounds and the elimination rounds inside of the division, you can have the best that you think possible to go ahead and make your team the best that you can do. Again, this is explaining the playoff portion. It's exactly the way I just described it, round of 16, which is the initial round, quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. There will be, I want to say, just 4 elimination rounds here. So the division pieces take 5 weeks, and then the playoffs take 4 weeks. So that's 9 weeks, which is right at 2 months, guys. So that'll work out very, very well. Let's talk rewards, because who doesn't like rewards? I'm kind of curious as to why they started with the Alliance rewards, because it looks a little meh to start off with. But once you get to the participant rewards, that's when you start getting to the juicy stuff. But let's start with the Alliance rewards because Lilith did that anyway. So in the Osiris League, if your alliance is chosen as one of the top 512, these are the rank rewards for inside of that. So if you win the division and you're in the top 32 alliances, these are the rewards that your entire alliance gets, not just you. So if you're participating or you're not participating and your alliance wins in the top 32 for your division, you'll get whatever place you are at. These are the rewards that you'll get, okay? Participant rewards, this is for if you participate, obviously. And this is at the end of, it says all Osiris League playoff participants, including subs, which is nice, will receive special rewards corresponding to their alliance's final rank. Again, this is the playoff rewards, all right? These are playoff rewards. These are not, part of the qualifiers or anything like that. There's no rewards in the qualifiers, all right? There's coins, which again, I'll get to later. These rewards look a lot better. Still not, to me, up to par. You have to get first place to get 20 sculptures, which is a little rough. 25k gems is nice. 50 days of speed ups is very nice. Heliopolis for the skin. If you want to get the legendary one, you have to win Osiris League. There is no top 10 here, guys. If you want the best skin from this event, you need to win the event. Otherwise, you're getting the toned down version, which is still nice, but it's not the legendary one. You can get the avatar frame being in the top 8, so top 25%. Same thing with the name plaque. It's top 8 as well. No, I'm sorry. Everybody in there gets that, so it's all the way down to the 32. But you got to make the playoffs to get the name plaque and a bunch of resources, stars, and sculptures. So all good stuff. Now, other rewards. This is where you're going to get, to me, this is where you're going to get the bulk of your stuff, okay? The longer you're in the Ark of Osiris League, the more of these goodies you're going to get. And as you can see, these are all really good things. I mean, you got targeted teleports, necessary. 4-hour, 50% army expansions, necessary. Permanent permanent name plaque and avatar frame. One-time option items. I'd imagine these are not going to come back around at least until next Osiris League, and I would imagine they'll make something new for the second season of Osiris League. So I got a feeling that people are going to want to get this just because it is a one-time snag item. So you're going to want to get these things regardless. And if you look at it, there's an avatar frame here and an avatar frame here. So these are different. This one's got the little cat of Anubis kind of thing, or Amun-Ra. And then this one's got more of a scarab beetle at the bottom. So all Egyptian themed things, which is really cool, but still, this is what you're looking at. So stars are obviously great, and then sculptures are obviously even better. And sweet, mysterious merchants back. So this is where I think you're going to get the bulk of your stuff, and this explains how you can get it. So there's the event rewards, which we just went over, and then there's the Osiris Coins, which you get by participating in the league. Now, you can get this stuff regardless of whether you're in the league or whether you're in just regular Ark of Osiris, guys. So you still get some of this stuff regardless. It's just that you're taking yourself out of the running for the playoff rewards. So if you're going to be one of those alliances that either choose not to participate in Osiris League, or if you participate and you are beaten, you'll still be able to get Osiris League coins, which are these right here, depending on if you're a combatant or not, and if you win or not. So if you are in the Osiris League still, you've won your rounds, and you have a victory and you participated, you'll get 300 coins at the end of that battle. If you lose, you'll get 200 coins. If you're an alliance member and did not participate, you'll win 200 coins with a victory and nothing for a defeat. So it's definitely beneficial for your entire alliance to get victories here, right? Same thing for Ark of Osiris. It's just basically cut in half pretty much. In fact, it's exactly cut in half. So if you're a combatant in regular Ark of Osiris, not Osiris League, and you win, it's 150 coins, 100 if you lose. If you're an alliance member that did not participate in the Ark of Osiris, you win, you get 100 coins. You don't get anything if you lose. So again, very critical to win your stuff, guys. And if you're not participating in Osiris League, or if you've already gotten bounced out of the league playoffs or wherever you got bounced, very critical for you to win your Osirises and get better and get your rewards as much as you can. Now, the one thing that we don't know yet, guys, or one of the biggest ones anyway that we don't know, is how much coins, or how many coins do each of those pieces that we just talked about cost? How much do they cost? Is it 300 coins for one sculpture? Hopefully not. I hope it's a lot less than that, maybe 100 or 50. That would be very good. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think that ultimately this is going to be just a different way to play the game again. I like the fact that it's got a playoff system and it's not limited to just a continent. It's the entire game, guys. If you've got 10 flags on your alliance built in your level 16 city hall, you can participate, okay? So just be mindful of that. This is basically the entire game. This is the entire game Mightiest Governor on open battlefield, is really if you want to look at it a certain way. So very, very cool. I got a feeling that certain alliances are almost going to be guaranteed a spot just because of how powerful they are inside of the playoffs. So we'll see how they organize everything from a matchmaking standpoint. We all know how that matchmaking thing works sometimes. So there could be some surprises. There could be some trickery afoot. We don't know. You might get matched up with a 1.3 billion matchmaking rating when you got 300 million yourself. So it just depends. Sometimes some folks can get some bad beats and some folks can get very lucky. It just depends. That's how life is and that's how this game is. So with that being said, I hope we went over everything the way that the way that it makes sense to you guys to understand. Again, it is a 2 to 3 month event. I see 3 months here, but I think there's also built-in rest periods inside of that. So really 2 months of activity, 3 months of the event. And I believe once the event is over is when you receive the rewards. So with that in mind, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. Cheers. Have a good one. I will see y'all next time. And I hope you'll have a great weekend. Bye.